Hey, welcome back to Math Quest. All right, so today I'm going to show you how to solve a one-step equation with fractions. What do we do with fractions? Because I know we tend to get a little jarred when we see fractions, but don't be scared of them. I'm going to show you how to do it the easy way, and I'm going to show you a shortcut. All right, so let's get to it. Hopefully by now you got your notebook out and you've copied down the title, how to solve one-step equations with fractions. You don't have to write down with shortcuts. And then copy down this first equation. If you haven't, go ahead and pause the video and copy it down. Here we go. So we have 3 over 4 times c equals 18. Well, what we want to use is the inverse property of multiplication. Is what it's called. And the more you understand the mathematical language, the easier it'll be for you, because that word inverse tells me, oh, inverse. I have to do some things like reciprocal, right? Inverse, opposite. Think opposite. That helps you remember inverse. So basically, I'm going to take this fraction, 3/4, and I'm going to flip it, right? Basically, I'm going to multiply here, and I'm going to flip it, 4 over 3. And you know, like algebra, whatever you do to one side, you have to do it to the other. So on this side, we're going to multiply 4 over 3. And right now, all I have to do is perform the operation here. In here, obviously, you should know this is all going to simplify to 1, because this 3 divided by this 3 equals 1, and 4 divided by 4 equals 1, and 1 times 1 equals 1 over 1, which all equals 1. That's why it equals 1. So we have 1c equals. Now this here tends to throw people off. Feel free to write a 1 under the 18. It doesn't change the value, and that's really how you can write a whole number as a fraction. Now you can see you're just going to multiply straight across. 18 times 4, 1 times 3. What I like to do is simplify in here if I have any common factors. And I notice that 3 is a factor of 18, right? Because 3 times 6 is 18. So I can go ahead and divide those out. This will give me a 1 here. This is like canceling that 3 out, dividing that 3 out, and it leaves a 6 behind, right? So look at what I have now. It's 6 times 4, which equals 24. On the bottom, I have 1 times 1, which equals 1. 24 over 1, which simply equals 24. And that, my friends, is how you solve one-step equations with fractions. Easy enough, right? But I said I was going to show you a shortcut, right? I am at the end, not right now. Right now, I want you to focus on this. So let's try one that looks just slightly different. Here we go. In fact, let me just scroll down, all right? I wrote them down here. So let's do 24 negative, oops, what happened to my pencil? Negative 24 equals, make sure you're writing this down, 6 over 7 times p. Okay, so if you're new to this, you're thinking, okay, whoa, what is happening here? Nothing. They just took this one that was normally on the first side and moved it over to the other side. Not a problem. We can do this forward and back. Why? Because we're good at this, right? Yes, you are. So here we go. We're going to do it. So here, let's kind of ignore that p right now. And right here, we do the reciprocal. Remember, we just have to flip it upside down. So that'll be 7 over 6. And on this side, 7 over 6. The exact same thing. On this side, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You just know it's going to equal 1p, just like the first one. And this, again, let's simplify it, because this is 24 over 1. So 24 divided by 6, that gives me a 1 here. That will give me a 4 here, because 6 times 4 is 24, right? Now remember, this 4 is still negative. So we got 7 times 4, which is going to equal 28. I'll try to fit it over here. 28 over 1. Negative 28 over 1, which simply just equals negative 28. And that's your final answer there. All right? Simple enough. All right, let's try one more that looks quite a bit different than this. All right, let's get ready to write this down. 1.5. Let's get, let me get how about a black pen? 1.5 x. And that is going to equal 16.5. All right, So this one's a little bit different because I have fractions on both sides. Not only do I have fractions, I have improper fractions. All right, not a problem. You heard what I said. I said improper fractions. That's a lie. I have mixed fractions is what I have. But I'm going to change them to improper. So write down step 1, right? Step 1, improper. By the way, I write my notes short because this is what works for me. Do what works for you. And that's a P. That's a terrible P. Improper fraction. That tells me, oh, okay, I need to take this mixed number here and this one and write them as improper fractions. So if you don't remember how to do that, not a problem. Pay attention here. We're going to start from the bottom, the denominator, right? So I want you to write a small multiplication symbol here, and I want you to write an addition symbol up here. Because what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 times 1, that equals 2, and then 2 plus 1 equals 3. So it equals 3. That means my numerator now is going to be a 3. My numerator never changes. It stays the same. So let's go ahead and bring that down and put it right here. 2. Okay? Hopefully that was easy enough for you. Now that we did that, let's go ahead and bring the x down. Hey, where's my x? Right there. Equal sign. And let's do the same right here. So 2 times 16 is 32. 32 plus 1 is 33. So we have 33 over 2. Now we can proceed and start solving. So on this one, we can write step 2. And we're going to write inverse, right? This is where we apply that rule, the inverse of multiplication. So I'm going to take the one with by the way, this is called the coefficient, the 3 over 2. The one that always has the letter next to it, right? The variable is called the coefficient. And this is the one you want to always start with. So we're going to take the reciprocal of it, the inverse of it, 2 over 3. And whatever we do to one side, we do to the other, 2 over 3. Again, you know that this all simplifies to 1x equals, and here, let's simplify that too with this 2, giving us 1s there. But notice, this 3 and that 33 can simplify because 3 times 11 is 33. And now we just have 11 times 1, which is 11, and 1 times 1 is 1. So 11 over 1 is the same thing as 11. Okay, that's my final answer, 11. So now, not only do you know how to solve one-step equations with fractions, but now you know how to solve them with fractions on both sides. And when we have mixed numbers, how about that? Huh? All right. I forgot. You thought I was going to forget about the shortcuts, right? All right, let me show you shortcut. Let's go back. Let's see, what was this one? 3/4 C equals 18. So let's do this one here. 3/4 C equals 18. Let me show you a shortcut. 3/4 times C equals 18. So the shortcut here is, instead of going through the motion of multiplying here by 4 over 3, multiplying over here by 4 over 3, you can simply just multiply these two first, right? 4 times 18, which would be what? 40 and 32, that would be 72, right? You would get 72. And that's 72 that you get from those two. Basically, this equals 72. You need to divide it by 3. So in your calculator, let's get 72 and divide this by 3, which of course should be the same answer here as 24. Okay? And that would be your final answer. So what do? Step 1, multiply the whole number and this denominator, and then divide by the numerator. And that gets you this 72 over 3, which equals 24. That's all you have to do right there. Your final answer will be 24. And you can test it out by taking 24, right, and multiplying it by 3. And if it equals 72, then it's correct. If it doesn't, then we did something wrong. So this would be 12, carry the 1, 6, 1 is 7, 72. There you go. It equals the same as my numerator. Therefore, I know 24 is the correct answer. All right. So there's your shortcut. And it's even easier when you have a 1 as a numerator because all you have to do is multiply. You don't have to divide. All right. Hey, hopefully you got some value out of this. And if you did, please hit the like and subscribe button. All right. And you have yourself a fabulous day. And I'll see you next time when we do two-step equations on Math Quest. Have a good one. Bye-bye.